This project is to create a nationwide cougar suitability model. Basically, in this entire part of the United States, and it looks like a part of Canada as well, the cougar was extirpated, meaning it was hunted completely out of existence in these areas here. This is the current breeding population around here. There's some a little bit to the east and some in Florida, and they're currently slowly re coming back into the land, into the areas where they were extirpated after after anti-poaching laws were passed. For example, the cougar is it's a big cat. Many people don't know that there are actually big cats in the United States. Um, and there are very few left. They used to be everywhere, but I found this article. It happens to be about that topic. Cougars are returning to the Midwest from the Smithsonian. It's a very important topic. Cougars are essential for the health of an environment. This is the project document that goes into everything. Here's a table of contents and all the data needed and the processing required to create this map. We're going to go beyond what was in the paper here. It's reproduced from a paper. I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit um, so you can kind of see this up close. What they did was they took populations that have breeding populations that have spread um, east of this area, in North Dakota and western Nebraska, and uh, I believe that there have been more places, but basically, um, the blue areas here are habitat that is currently suitable for cougars. And these yellow pads between them are the best paths available, best paths that exist currently for them to go to reach these suitable places. So, if cougars were to go along these paths, they would be able to end up in these areas and establish new breeding populations. So, they'd be able to have habitats that are available for them. Um, we're going to go beyond this model. We're going to create these paths. We're going to recreate everything in this model, but then we're going to add land value data to it. And then we're going to create paths based on the least cost and highest suitability combination. So, what is the most suitable land at the lowest cost? And um, then then using soil data, we're going to find what was kind of the natural landscape for the major changes with settlement post 1600s or 1800s, and basically find places that can be rewilded. What the process would be to rewild land and expand the habitat available for cougars. That would basically include land, for example, that is not necessary for human wants and needs, um, like shrublands and land used to grow animal feed and so on. This is the paper being used. Um, it's from 2022, I believe. potential cougar habitats in dispersal corridors in eastern North America. And it goes through things, kind of how they did it. They used these five factors: land cover type, human density, distance to paved roads, slope, and distance to water. So, they need kind of more forested areas. They need to be further away from people and roads, and steep slopes are kind of better for them, and a short distance to water for them to drink. And so basically, they created this habitat suitability model that's kind of in gray here. Um, and these are the models they created, and so on. And they just explain how they do all the data here, how they created these in this paper. Now, I use ChatGPT to explain this paper because it's very difficult for me to understand. Um, and it doesn't explain a lot of things like the step by step process you would need to create all of this in GIS. So showing this is where we are so far, where I am so far with it. This is the a previous version of the habitat suitability model. The red is less suitable, and the blue is more suitable. I should have used green there, but um, uh, I probably have that here. But so you can see here that further away from people, these are kind of cities, and further away from roads. And this is a much more forested area in Missouri. It's called the Ozarks. Um, however, um, so what we're doing right now is just using Missouri as a sample. This is a state in the United States. Um, for context, I guess. Let me zoom out. That's the portion being used in North America. This state. There's 50 states in the U.S., and this is a good choice because it has some suitable land, as I pointed out right here in this area. Um, and so I go through the process in this paper. Basically, um, you would recreate everything with those factors. The current file is not. I'm in the process, or we're going to be in the process of basically recreating a correct version. There were some issues with the first version of these five factors, and um, we would create this habitat suitability map, and then we'd create the least cost paths, which is the best paths between them. Then we would combine land value and suitability, and then we'd create this rewilding map, which would be a combination of land value, rewilding, and habitat suitability rating. So, um, example results. This is the paper link. Um, and these are the factors, each of the five factors in the database, data sources. And so I'll just go over some of these. Um, we're redoing population density from before. We have better data. Um, this is important. We need to download this one and use it. The hydrology data set. When I would hire you, we'd go over things in detail, obviously. So you're going to have to find some of these sources, or we're going to have to together um, Probably what you'll do initially though is leap into things. Um, so the project is gigantic. It's 15 gigabytes, and overall it's like 40 gigabytes. So I'm in the process of creating an online database so that we can collaborate, and so that you don't need to use a file this big. Um, Things will be done remotely. Um, and now take a look at this. Open this data here. I made a sample file. Um, Took me a bit of time. I'll just open this folder up. Download these files. I separate. Oh, what happened here? Okay, I separated. Um, so just open this. I'll just show you the file. If you were to click on this, double click on it, we're only using QGIS. We're not going to use ArcMap, but if you want to use ArcMap, that's fine. And then you have to show, you have to reproduce the results in QGIS, and we have to be documenting things along the way. I didn't mention that in the document. Um, that's something we have to do in detail. Um, and this is okay. Looks like, oh, okay. So this is the sample. You would download this and open this file, and then this is the HSR version. So what I showed you earlier. Basically, what you would do is you'd open that, and you would right click, styles, add style. Oops, I was wrong about that. You would right click properties, and then you'd go down here and then load the style, and you'd find the style file, so that it makes it all colored like this. Um, Sorry about this. This is the style file right here. So select this when you open it up. That's just to take a look at everything, kind of give you an idea of how things work. But there's many issues being faced here. So I'll just go over where I'm at right now, and the issues I'm facing. And um, but I will go over all that in a separate video. I feel like it's good to kind of create two separate videos, that the second one will be much, much more detailed, diving into things.